I bought this primer at Walmart for $60, and then I ordered this mask off Amazon for like $20. So this was all I started with. Now this clip is after I got the whole car primered. It took all 6 cans that I bought from Walmart, and after I got the primer on, I went over everything with a wet sand with 320 grit just to smoothen it all out, and it came out pretty decent. I think it would have came out a little better if the temperature was higher, but back when I first started this, it was like bouncing between like 40s and the 50s, and I think this day was like 40s, but it came out decent for the most part. Now after this, I moved on to the door jambs. As you can see in this next clip, they were still blue, so I hit it with some 220 grit. Then I started to mask everything up that I didn't want paint on. Then I started to shoot that with my red, and this how it came out right here. So this is how it turned out after I painted the door jambs, rims, and the trunk. And that was with no clear coat. I saved my clear for the outside of the car that you can see. This was the clear I went with $20 a can off Amazon. And then this was the Rust-Oleum. You can get this at Walmart for $5 a can. And then this is how it turned out right here. This was with 2 coats of red, and then I used 2 cans of the clear on this side. So all together, it was like a can and a half of the red, and then again 2 separate cans of the clear. Now looking back on it, I wish I would have used more clear, but this is my first time trying it, and it still came out pretty decent, as you can see. Alright, so this is the whole driver's side. So again, I took it section by section. Now this is the rear corner panel on the passenger side up into the door, and then I stopped. I didn't want to go too far. I wanted to take my time so it can come out as best as it could. Now this was, I believe, 1 can of red with 2 coats, and then a can and a half of clear, and it came out pretty decent. Now this is the fender and the front clip painted. I went with Rust-Oleum gloss black in the front around the bezel and the grill. About half a can of that. Then it was a whole can of red, and then a can and a half of the clear, and it came out decent. Then I painted the trunk, as you're gonna see in the next clip, and then I did like some little custom painting on my tail lights. Because I didn't feel like ordering new ones. I was on a tight budget at the time, and they came out pretty decent. So this is how it looked after everything was painted except for the roof and the hood. The interior was about, I say, 80% done at this time. Still had a few things to kind of do. And then for the outside, other than the hood and the roof, I had to do my tail lights, which you're gonna see in the next clip. I tinted those, and those reverse lights came out pretty decent, so I kept that like that. But I didn't paint the roof at this point because I was debating on a G6 roof or just a regular sunroof. And then for the hood, I was debating on doing a hood scoop. So I couldn't make my mind up, so that stayed primered for like a week. And then I just went ahead and painted the roof, as you're gonna see right here. And that came out nice. I tinted the tail lights, and then I hit it with some of the clear out of the can. Painted the side markers as well. Yep, there's the roof, looks good. And then the interior was still the same. I didn't get back in there, so all of that was still looking the same as before. Now the hood, that was still primered because I had to fix a dent. You can't really see it in this clip, but I had a dent to fix. And then at that time I was still debating because I wanted to go with a hood scoop that you fiberglass on to the original, but I just couldn't make my mind up. So eventually I just went ahead and painted just the regular hood, as you're gonna see in this next clip. And then at that point the whole car was painted, and you're gonna see now how that turned out. Now here's when I wet sand and buffed the car. I went over the whole car with 2500 grit. I didn't want to go with anything more aggressive than that because I was scared to burn through the clear, because I mean, clearly it came out of a can, so it wasn't that thick, and I only put like maybe a coat or two over the whole car. So yeah, I stuck with the 2500, which did pretty good. I mean, it did what I needed it to do. I mean, this was all just a cheap setup. That's what I used right there, the Meguiar's kit. And yeah, it did its job, as you see right here. That was the spot that I buffed and polished. And then right here, that was right after the sand. So I was getting ready to hit it with the buff and then polish it out. And all that was done by hand with the little pads. And I started in this section and I really just did the whole car, and it came out decent. As you see there, that's polishing it up. Then I come back and with a microfiber cloth and just wipe it all off, and then you get this right here. So yeah, not too bad for what I spent. Now here's the finished product here. Again, it came out good to me for what it is. It's a under a $300 paint job. You can't really beat that. Like I said, my stuff was all done on a real budget, and it was done by me for the first time for me trying this stuff, and I like it. I want to give a shout out to More Motorsport YouTube channel. He the one that gave me this idea. I watched his channel, tried it out for myself, and it came out good. So thanks for watching. I appreciate the support. Peace.